캔피셔의 최신 영상을 바로 번역해서 한글자막 달아왔습니다. 영상에서 오늘 나오는 내용은 주식시장에서 과학같이 지켜지는 법칙에 대해서 이야기하고요. 지금은 그래서 하락인가 조정인가에 대해 나오고, 마지막으로 영상의 결론이죠. 성장주와 가치주 중에서 뭘 사야 하나에 대해 들어보겠습니다. 바로 시작하겠습니다.
This year, more than most, people struggle with how to posture portfolio. And they're mostly, I think, getting it very wrong looking forward, because they're seeing the entanglement of two things that keep them from seeing the real thing. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we have a feature going on which is almost perfect. On days where the market is down fairly much, it's the same categories regularly that are doing better and worse. The categories that are doing worse on the downside are doing better on the upside. The simplest and easiest one to see is tech, which is all year long lagged markedly on down days. 100% perfectly so? No. But the correlation there is very high. On May 26th, I did a visual scattergram with some data on this on my Twitter feed. But the fact of the matter is, all this year, the data points reinforce the simple notion, said very simply, that if the market was going up, tech would be doing better than the market. If the market was going down, tech would be doing worse. But you could extrapolate that much more broadly. The extrapolation that's more broad and still fully valid is when the market's going up, growth stocks are leading. When the market's going down, growth stocks are lagging. The inverse is when the market's going down, value stocks, defined as cheap relative to earnings or book value or dividends or some other valuation criteria, EBITDA or whatever, value companies do better when the market's going down. They're doing worse when the market goes up. Now, here's the point that I want you to see. When you have either a standard correction or the back end of a bear market, either one, the categories that lag the most on the downside, not 100%, but close to, bounce the most in the first few months when you get to the rebound. So right now, if you listen to media, if you read so many sources, they'll tell you this is the time for value. Well, that's true if you believe the market's going to keep going down. If you believe the market's going to go up, this is exactly the time not to do value, but instead to do growth, because the categories that get pummeled the most on the downside as categories, again, not every single stock, I'm talking categories here, do the best on the upside. My view has been that this is a correction very elongated in time and fairly steep, a lot like the 2011 correction that lasted 6 months, got intraday down below 20%, the official demarcation of a bear market, but couldn't close there. Played with 20% for a good long time, back and forth up to about 14 and back down to almost 20. And then boom, exploded on the upside after the 6 months, right after the 6 month point. And the market behaved then in its aggregates like it's behaving now. And I think for a lot of the same reasons, and I may be wrong about all of that. I may be wrong and it may not act that way moving forward, but that's what I think we are having. And in that, I would expect that the parts that should lead on the way back up are growth, tech. The parts that should lag are value and the defensive stocks, all the ones that have done the very best so far year to date as I speak. Thank you very much for listening to me.
영상 중간에 빠르게 지나간 그래프가 있어서 다시 한번 간단히 짚고 넘어가겠습니다. 캔피셔가 트위터에 쓴 글을 번역하면 여기 써있는 것과 같은데요. 쉽게 말하자면 그래프의 여기 가로는 마이너스 5%에서 4%까지 있죠. 시장의 하루 등락입니다. 세로는 0보다 크면 성장주가 가치주보다 더 많이 오른 것이고, 0보다 작으면 가치주가 성장주를 이긴 것입니다. 보시면 시장이 마이너스로 하락한 구간에서는 여기 점들을 보시면 거의 99% 가치주가 성장주를 이겼죠. 그리고 시장이 플러스였던 여기를 보시면은 대개 성장주가 가치주를 이겼습니다. 시장의 등락폭이 크면 클수록 거의 예외 없이 더 명확한 상관관계를 보입니다. 그렇기 때문에 시장이 하락할 거라고 생각하면 가치주에 베팅하고 상승할 거라 생각하면 성장주에 베팅하면 되는 것입니다. 단순한 시장의 방향성에 베팅하는 역시 캔피셔다운 간결한 투자 아이디어입니다. 그래서 오늘의 가장 중요한 결론을 초간단하게 요약하면 하락 후 반등할 땐 가치주보다 성장주가 압도적으로 유리합니다. 그리고 지금의 하락은 캔피셔가 봤을 때 하락장이 아니라 단순한 조정장이기 때문에 곧 상승할 것입니다. 그러니까 결론적으로 상승할 때 가장 큰 이익을 볼 수 있는 성장주를 지금 매수하라는 게 오늘의 결론이었습니다. 6월 들어서 더 지독하게 시장이 하락하고 있는데 이번에도 정말 캔피셔의 역발상 투자가 또 성공할지는 지켜봐야겠습니다. 지금까지는 거의 다 맞췄거든요. 기대해 보겠습니다. 오늘도 영상 봐주셔서 감사합니다.